This is number 12C in our exam 2 review, where we're asked to solve for the missing parts of this triangle using the law of cosines, although I'll tell you it was easier to do this using the law of sines, and on the exam, use whatever method you find would be easiest. Oh, and it did say law of sines, sorry. All right, so the law of sines, when I'm finding a side or an angle, I want to decide which version of the law of sines to use based upon what I'm trying to find. If I'm trying to find an angle, then put the angles on top. If I'm trying to find a side, then put the sides on top. Well, since I know A and big A, then and I know little b, then I'll find big B first. So I'm finding an angle, so I'm going to, in step 1, find the angle B. Sine of B is over little b, is equal to the sine of A over little a. If I plug in everything I know, sine of B is what I'm trying to find. Little b, though, is 41 centimeters. Big A is 26 degrees. And little a is 25 centimeters. I see that sine B is being divided by 41, so I'm going to start by multiplying both sides of the equal sign by 41. And now if I just type 41 sine 26, close my parentheses, and divide by 25, I find that angle B, or the sine of angle B, is 0.7189. Now I want to know the angle, and we know that whenever we're wanting to find an angle, we use an inverse function. So the inverse sine of this measurement, 0.7189, gives us an angle of about 46 degrees. Might be a little different based upon how you round it. So now I know that angle B is about a 46-degree angle. Well, then second, I can find angle C because I know that all of the angles in a triangle must always add up to 180. So if I take 46 and 26 and add them together, I get 72, and 180 minus 72 gives me a remaining 108 degrees for angle C. That's what I would do as step 2. In step 3, we're going to need to find little c. And I can use whichever law I choose. I like the law of sines, so I'll put c over the sine of that angle, which I now know is 108 degrees, and set it equal to any other ratio I want, either b over sine b or a over sine A. I'll do A over sine A since those were values given to me in the original problem, but I could have done B over sine B. So that would give me 25 over the sine of 26. So when I look at what I've got here, I can clearly see C is being divided by the sine of 108. So I'm going to undo that division by multiplying both sides by the sine of 108. That gets rid of those, and then this gets multiplied by the sine of 108. Degrees, of course. So now I can just type in my calculator 25 sine 108, close my parentheses, and divide by the sine of 26. And I find that little c must be about 54 centimeters. Again, it could be a little different depending upon how you round it along the way.